Happy be Theseus, our renowned Duke.
Thanks, good Egeus. What's the news with thee?
Full of vexation come I, with complaint against my child, my daughter Hermia. Stand forth, Demetrius, my noble lord, this man hath my consent to marry her. Stand forth, Lysander, and my gracious Duke, this man hath bewitched the bosom of my child. Thou, Lysander, thou hast given her rhymes and interchanged love tokens with my child. Thou hast by moonlight at her window sung, with feigning voice, verses of feigning love, and stolen the impression of her fantasy with bracelets of thy hair, rings, gauds, conceits, knacks, trifles, nosegays, sweetmeats, messengers of strong prevailment and unhardened youth. With cunning hast thou filched my daughter's heart, turned her obedience, which is due to me, to stubborn harshness. And my gracious Duke, be it so, she will not here before your grace consent to marry with Demetrius. I beg the ancient privilege of Athens, as she is mine, I may dispose of her, which shall be either to this gentleman or to her death, according to our law immediately provided in that case.
Pray let her die the death. My eternal love for Hermia knows no knowledge of death. Purse thy lips, Hermia, drink thine fill of mortal hemlock. The poison restores thy blood, thy heart pumps venom in its stead. The funeral pyre of mine heart lightens my path, the dark foreboding wood of grief, as Orpheus sought his Eurydice. There I seek the company of fairies, who shall consent to wed the mortal man and feminine carcass. Hail Oberon, hail Titania, their love knows immortal bounds. The queen demands the pennies from thine eyes. Refuse, Charon, shout thy passage across the black waters to the far shore of Styx. Sweet Hermia, if thy pulsing blood fails to beat within thy gasping, rasping heart, as the perpetual sleep leadens thy eyes, slip into the silk of thy sepulchre. The mausoleum of thy family, all the Egeus' noble line, thy bridal suite. Theseus writs of thee thus untimely snatched to thy tomb from life. Thy growing years of growing wombs, and never more springing bloom, hopes my heart to prevail. The fairy queen, a fairy king adjure me, Lysander too, like a tomb raider, steal into the dim crypt to rescue thy vital remains. Shalt thy funeraries be thy dowry? Egeus' fatherly birthright annulled upon the failing of thy breast, to beat our love survives the distance of Hades. My love is ignorant of death, Hermia, my love inflamed, my deep despair purged. The fates must mend thy quick-spun thread reweaved. Thy tomb is ne'er a crypt, but a chapel, wherefore our nuptials art to be vowed. I take thee, Hermia, as my wife, not till death us part, but death us unite. Thy own betrothed with Titania conspires to confound Theseus and Egeus' cabal with the burglar Demetrius. Doth the brink of Theseus' rule reach to Hades? Nay, faith, it never so plays. Thine bridal suite, a whiff of fragrant flowers, the incense smoke burns the stench. My kisses doth moisten thy withering flower. Faith, aroused with the passion of my loins, our marriage is consummated. Eros testifies to its legitimacy. My licks, my lusts, my thrusts, oh, my sweet sweat! My kisses consume your corpse, not the grubs and worms and maggots and carrion beetles, vials of perfumes, a scent, the scent, a putrefaction from thy decomposition. The tomb of thy womb will bear mortal life, as my seed thrives in the thorn bushes of death and decay. Hermia, I shall pluck maggots from thy gash, till thy womb burst forth gushes of dank and stank, birth waters giving life to the products of our union, our child. Egeus, noble Athenian lord, thy daughter condemned to her death's slaughter, shalt metamorphose thee to a ground sire. Fear not, fair Hermia. Give unto him your mortal life. My love is enduring.
Lysander, woe! Thy pander, this fair maid, contrary to her father's will and right. Blue blood hath thee, but ignoble thou art. Egeus, as I abhor her ruin, howsoever thy unnatural corpse lust speaks of thy unbeseeming love for her, relent, repent, resent the time ye spent.
Shalt I prattle like a gossip-monger of the tattled tales of noble Egeus?
Lysander, hold thy tongue, no slander speak.